raccoon. So here for telling that I feel like it's just badass, works super well. So when we look at when we look at a raccoon, here's a front foot of a raccoon, here's a hind foot of a raccoon. The hind foot of a raccoon actually has more like the morphology of our hand, where we have 4 toes high and 1 really low toe like a thumb. Right? So if we draw a line perpendicular, cutting through the track to bisecting it equally, and then we draw a line here and here, essentially we get 1 toe that is an outlier that is way below all the other toes. Okay? If we do the same thing with the front, we draw, and I'm not talking about the way the foot is placed, like the trail doesn't matter. Just take the actual track, draw a line right down the middle, draw a line across here, we get 2 toes that are below this line and 3 that are above, right? These 2 toes come off similar plane on the foot than this one does, which is much below. So this one comes off here, the other one, the next one, the pinky or whatever, comes off here. Here we have 2 toes that are coming off a similar plane and that are below, and then 3 clearly above versus 3 clearly. Does that make sense? So on this track, we have a toe that is right here, and if we were to bisect this track like this, right? Okay, like this, and then we were to bisect it again this way, we have 4 toes above, 1 toe below. If we do it with this one underneath, we have 3 toes above, 2 toes below. So this is a front track. On the one in the back, and the one that we asked was a hind right.
So I was thrown off because I was seeing sort of that C shape with the raised like.
Sure.
I just thought maybe this was a different trail, so I keyed in on that.
Yeah.
I did see the lower toe, but I thought, well, that middle is sort of very raised.
I could not tell you whether this is the same animal or not. I don't know. But this is the front track of a raccoon, and this is the hind track of a raccoon. I think it's likely that they're the same raccoon because it's the same age, but it certainly could be a different raccoon.
But another one up there was a couple in here coming through.
I just wonder how typical it is to see that raised, the C shape with the raised portion in a hind track. Because I'm used to seeing them as the flatter, broader pad.
Well, I think if you go with this toe thing, this is really, the hind track can look a ton of different ways. The front track can look a ton of different ways. Just having a C-shaped pad is kind of a raccoon thing. That they have this very kind of C-shaped pad. But if you're looking at side of body and front versus hind, I would kind of mostly just look at the toe placement and not at paying it too much attention. I mean, obviously, if the heel is there, just the heel is just present in a hind foot, okay, great, you've got the heel, but that's not very common to see that. Usually, one of the things that's distinct about raccoon tracks is they tend to kind of fade out slowly versus having like a cat track has like a really clear back. They just kind of fade out to nothing, and so instead of looking at the fade out, looking at the toe placement. Right? Cool. Any questions?
That's a really good point. Just to add to this, one thing I would just tag on to that is that if you look here, you can see all the direction where the toes are coming off of the foot itself. So this toe isn't really sticking out to the side, it's very straightforward. So then if we were to draw where that would connect down here, it's good, it would be weird for it to kind of come out and then hook up to the left. And so this kind of thing can be weird, where we're looking like you could have a rock under there or whatever reason. If this were a different raccoon, it could have heaved that up. And so just trying to stack those morphological features as best as possible, and that would just be a hard sell for that short of a toe to be connecting right at this side, and then it's still going to be on this different plane than these 3 toes across.
That makes sense.